quite chunky. But let's talk about what I use in my journal, and quickly, so I don't make a 1,000,000-minute video. You will see in my journal I use distress stains that I talk about, that I show in almost every single video that you see me do my journaling. They are by Tim Holtz. They are like liquid watercolor. They are my favorite. If you are careful and quick, they do not bleed through your Midori paper. As you can see, pink, this hot pink goes in my pencil case, which is just a project bag, and I just shove it in there because it is my favorite color. And that one is pickled raspberry, for people that want to know, because I get asked what this color is quite a lot. And if you just pop it down and move it around really quickly. That one was scattered straw, and this one is peacock feathers, another one of my favorites. They are fantastic for getting color onto your page, and they don't bleed through. I'll just do some pretty transfer for another day. So these are a staple of mine. They make things brighter, they make things more interesting. I absolutely adore them, and I will always use them in my journal. They always make my journals that little bit different. I know they don't bleed. It's just, they are great. What other things I use are stencils. Now, I got these stencils from one of those cheap Asian stores. They're really hard to see on camera, aren't they? So I have capital letters and lowercase letters. I actually bought them for my daughter, and then I kind of ninja'd them back. So I use these in my, as you can see, like volume 1, and I think they're back here and stuff. Of course, now that I'm telling you that I use stencils, my months are normally done in the big stencil lettering. Volume 2 is done in there. May and June, all that sort of stuff. So I do use these quite a lot. They are quite bulky, so they don't come with me when I do travel. I did find these in Daiso recently, as I saw Marianne from Pocket Full of Vintage show them in an Instagram thing, and I was like, I need those in my life. So they're like little tiny ones. They are bubby, and I use them occasionally, but not as much as the big ones. What else do I use? Obviously, I use photographs. Now, yes, I do print at home. 90% of the time, I print in iPhoto. I make contact sheets and just print on giant A4 bits of glossy cardstock so that I can choose how big I want my sizes to be. But lately, my printer is out of ink, and at the moment, it costs a freaking bomb to fill a printer ink up. It is cheaper almost to buy a new printer than it is to buy a refill. So I went to Officeworks, that is like your Staples in America, I'm assuming, and got a whole lot of prints done. Now these are 2 prints to a 1 4x6, so they come together like that, and then I just cut them in half. They are the perfect size for journaling. So I just print them off my iPhone. I save them all to a USB stick because iPhones and mobile printing services aren't besties either. So this is half my trip to Melbourne, pictures of me and my hubby, selfie-orama. This is my MAC makeup and my girlfriend's MAC makeup. So that is part of my Melbourne series, my view out of my Melbourne thing. So as you can get the gist. So I do use photos. Photos are what I do to document my life besides words. Sometimes a photo is easier than writing it down. So I strongly suggest photos in journaling. I don't know what it is, but I'm an artist. I like pictures, and sometimes it's easier to take one than it is to draw one. So I have a little stash of pictures that I need to get through, which you'll see in my sped up Melbourne video. So photographs. What else do I have? Stamps. As you can see, I use stamps here and here. I use them almost on every spread. They are my jam. So These ones are from Alisa Blaha. I don't think they're available anymore. These are my two favorite ones from her. And there's another one that I've got that's floating around, someone saying, that says, "You are my favorite." So these ones are two of my favorite that I have. I also have an Amy Tangerine date stamp, like roller date stamp. And it's got like all different sayings on there. But I normally just pick the little dotted line. So I also have a Kiki K one that came in a set. Of course, I can't find the set, but this is when, has the word when, so I put the date there. An acrylic block, which has stamps on it because, you know, I don't put things back. I use this to mount my clear stamps. And then the stamps that I use are Kaiser Craft stamps, and I have days of the week. I hope these are showing up on camera. I really apologize if they don't. Let me see if you can see days of the week. See, I'm really close now, so if I get loud, I apologize. Different fonts of days of the week with butterflies and that sort of thing. Just little quotes and sayings, and like a little monthly one up there. This one is months in different fonts. And then more different little sayings. They are fabulous. They are cheap. And so I keep them all together in a little container so that I can just pull them out and go for gold, because they do get used almost on every thing. And I have cheap ink pads that I buy from Kmart. This cost me $3. It's brown ink. It does bleed through a little bit on the other page, but I'm going to live with that. I don't care. So I just zip that up and that is ready to go. Let's see, what else do I have? Washi tape. Everyone knows washi tape, and I use it to do my tip-ins. As you can see, I am the tip-in queen, also I have been dubbed, and I like to tip things in everywhere because sometimes you want more to happen on a page than just what you can get on 2 pages. So tip it in. When in doubt, tip it in. That's my motto. So I use washi tape to do my tip-ins. It is easy, it's cute, it's fun. I have quite a few rolls. Not as many as some people. I've seen some pretty epic collections, but I have a small collection of things, and I change it up every now and again when I get bored of seeing the same ones. I do have bits and pieces of ephemera that I like to use in my journal every now and again. Not very often, but I do have it on hand. So they're there, and they're more photos. So bits and pieces like that. Stickers. It occasionally pops up. Occasionally. What else do I have? Okay, watercolors. This is my little travel watercolor set. It is a Koi watercolor pocket field sketch, and it is grubby as hell. And it came with this little brush, all like in there in pieces, but doesn't fit now, but who cares. So I use these for my draw a day things, and I also use this cheap watercolor palette from Mikador, which is, I think, an Australian brand. It's meant to have a clear case on it, but you know, things get used and wrecked. There's also a color missing. I have used about 3 of these in my lifetime. They cost about $12. It is great. They are good enough for me. I use them all the time. The colors, they're a little bit chalky, that's the only problem, but what are you going to do? My brush is dry. So I'll get one of these. As you can see, they are quite, they do the job. 12 bucks, and if you just want to dabble, it is a cheap way of doing it because the watercolor sets themselves are pricey as hell. They are in Australia anyway. I'm going to have to eBay a big proper one of the Winsor & Newton ones, which are on my Christmas list. But so these are basically what I use. These 3 things. And I have an array of watercolor brushes. I have the Koi one, and I have 2 Pentel ones. But I find the Pentel ones are a little bit too wet for me. So I'm going to go back and buy some more Koi ones because they are a little drier and they make it easier on me. These ones seem to be so wet all the time that if I'm doing little work, they're they bleed quite a bit, which annoys me a little bit. And I did have a bit of a tanty and threw it against the wall yesterday. So there's what I use for my draw my day. If you have any questions, do ask. I do try and answer as many questions as I can. I do also use double-sided tape runner for my photos. I don't like to use wet media besides the like wet glue. Besides, these are my watercolors basically. So I do use double-sided tape runners for all my photos. I also have little baby stencils in here that I will use in my journal. I bought these for my little travel journal kit. I haven't used them yet, but I will put them into action probably in the next video. So they were cute and easy to store around. Of course, I can't get them back in on camera because, you know, what am I going to do? Special. This is my pen case, as I showed you before. It's just a project bag. I can't remember where I got it from. I've had it for years. I have a feeling one of my girlfriends made it for me. And in here, I have an array of crap. I do use the jelly roll pens, and I have done a huge Facebook post in the Australian group on what I use, and these were the pens that I said I love. As you can see, I'm a tiny bit addicted to these things. They are so fabulous. I have more. These are just what I carry around, and they are good for making photos, like drawing on your photos. They are so fabulous. These are all a jelly pen, and I always use them to sort of make marks on my photos. They make a little raised effect. They're bright, they're vibrant. I also use them in my titles. A lot of people ask me where I got, you know, my fluoro stuff from. These are it, jelly roll pens from Sakura, and they're fantastic. What else do I have in here? Oh, I have my two little stencils, sharpener, the Kiki K white pen, which is just the Signo Uniball one. They've just branded it with Kiki K on it. Mine's seen a bit of worse for wear. I use my things until they literally fall apart. So this is one of my favorite white pens, the Signo Uniball. I have water brushes, obviously stacked in here because, you know, a girl can never have too many of her water brushes. I have my favorite drawing pens, which I do all my outlining in. For my draw a day, I have a stack of them actually. They are the Unipin Fine Line. They are waterproof, fade proof, and pigment ink, so they do not move. I have an array of nibs for different things. I also use these in my art commissions as well. So they are fabulous. I have heaps. I love them. When I find something I love, I buy many of them. I have a few Colettos just lying around there. I have more of these, but they're in a different pen case. I have World's Tiniest Eraser. This is by Mono Zero, and I bought this from instituteofcute.com as well, and it is great for getting into smaller spaces. I have a chunky eraser as well, but Elijah stole it for his homework yesterday. So I have a pacer. I do like a mechanical pencil. I know it's I have a couple of those actually. I got one from Typo the other day. I always do my drawing in these first. I have a few. I have a Zebra Sarasa clip pen in grey. I have another Coletto. One of those Kiki K pens that you can buy. They're just plain black pens. I have a, I just bought this on the weekend actually, a Unifit, a Style Fit in brown. I thought I'd try my daily drawings in brown ink. I tested it in the store to make sure it didn't move with water. Basically, I wrote on a piece of paper and licked my finger and just tested it because, you know, I'm all class. I just have an array of random pens that sort of find their way in here. I like the Artline Smooth for general writing. It seems to make my handwriting a lot neater because it is a bit chicken scrawly. Another jelly roll. And my preferred pencils of choice are the Prismacolor pencils. They are the Premier ones. I did save up for these. I bought the 70 set. I need more. And so I have like a small array of colors that come in my pencil case. I do a little bit of shading of my watercolors. So I just chuck in a couple of pencils and they go with me. So as you can see, they have been used. Everything of mine gets used. I have nothing in pristine condition. I'm looking at my stuff and it looks like I just don't care. But I do care. I just use them and love them. I would rather use and love something than for it to sit around being pretty. So that is my giant pencil case. Now I don't usually take this whole thing out with me. I will take like my pacer, a black pen, an eraser, and my travel watercolor set, and that'll be it. And that will fit in a tiny pencil case. And I normally take one distress stain because, you know, can't get enough. I'm pretty sure that is it. I have ephemera from my Melbourne trip. I think that's it. I'm just looking to make sure that I have covered all aspects. My desk is, oh yeah, I have things from my Melbourne trip, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that is what I use in my Midori. That is a little, you know, a little flip through of my Midori. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please ask me. I will always answer questions if I can. And if you haven't, please subscribe. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. And you will be seeing a few videos upcoming. One will be my sped up draw my day, which I will probably make a regular occurrence, a weekly occurrence for you guys. I get asked a lot about this process. Also the A5 setup, maybe a pocket setup, my Melbourne trip and speed view, and we'll see what else. If there is anything else you guys want to see, please throw suggestions at me. I'm always happy to give you guys what you want within time and reason, as I am planning a wedding and I do have 2 small feral children. Well, they're not feral, they're lovely. That is it for today. God, I hope this is filming. Have a lovely afternoon.